Well, hello my friends, welcome back to Key West. Beautiful night on the island, good to see you all. Hope you had a good start into the week, good Monday. So here is to Tuesday. Let's see if we can catch a nice sunset during our little bike ride. Current temperature here in Key West, 78 degrees. We are on Little Elizabeth Street, and to my left is the Little Pearl. Really cute, nice little corner restaurant off the beaten path, if you want to look it up, called Little Pearl, sister restaurant of the Thursday Mermaid. Unfortunately, they don't have a menu out here because the menu kind of varies, so it's inside on a blackboard. So it's definitely a great spot to check out. They're on the corner of Olivia Street and Elizabeth Street right here. There you go. So we started on Elizabeth Street and are now turning onto Olivia. Searching for our little lanes. So one of our first lanes here is Galveston Lane. So I think we should probably start with this one. This is actually kind of a through street, so we'll have to do we'll turn around at some point. Little Galveston Lane here. So if you want to check out on Google Maps where we are, we're kind of just a little bit below the cemetery here, and we're just off Olivia Street, which is here, and Little Galveston Lane is cutting through here parallel to Elizabeth. Really nice and quiet in here. They're rebuilding this. This burned down, I think, a year ago roughly, maybe a little bit longer than that. And we are just southwest actually of the cemetery. So if you want to check out on So the rattling you can hear in the background is my drink. I brought it for later once we arrive at the Truman Waterfront for the sunset. So Galveston Lane here is a through street from Olivia to, good question, is that Petronia? I think it is. And it's in those little back streets that you can find some weird stuff going on. Here we have a Easter horse skeleton, I suppose. Of course, this time of the day we have a beautiful light going on here. The golden hour. And if I'm not totally mistaken, this should be a little Passover lane. That ending into the cemetery, how fitting. Oh no, got it wrong. This is not Passover Lane, this is Poorhouse Lane. Passover Lane is a little bit further down that direction. We are going to turn back onto Olivia Street because there was another lane which we haven't explored yet. Thank you so much, Chris Packard, for the super chat. Very much appreciated. Here's our little Olivia Street grocery. Look at that tree here on the corner. So here we have a little Petronia Lane. Which is interesting is that Petronia Lane does not end into Petronia Street. It kind of dead ends here. But this is a really cool little hidden lane here. And it's funny because I was double checking it on Google Maps earlier, and there it's actually marked as Petronia's Lane. But the street sign said Petronia Lane, so. Oh, I see, we're back on Poorhouse Lane. Interesting, I didn't realize that was like a through lane here. Again, Google Maps did not really have it marked as this, so Petronia Lane. I'll go by the local signage which says Petronia Lane, but not linked to Petronia Street. Some hidden old conch houses here. kind of wondering if it continues on the other side. No, I don't think so. This looks pretty much just like a little... No, this is not part of the lane. Continues towards the back. Hey. I wasn't sure if it continues that way or not.
No, it's private property.
It's
yeah. It's private property. That's
Yeah.
why I told you, because, you know, one, you would be trespassing, and another, you can get shot.
You never know. Yeah.
Shoot somebody, it's legal to shoot somebody that's
Yeah.
on your property.
Yeah. Do you have any idea why on the map this one says Petronia Lane and the actual street sign says Petronia Lane?
Well, the street is not Petronia Lane. The street is off of, well, the tail end of it is right there on Elizabeth Street.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay? And then from there's a little walking lane. That's like a little continuation over to Galveston Lane.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you through the park and becomes the lane.
Yeah, yeah.
As it comes out this way, it's now considered Petronia Lane. But this all, from that end, it used to be four houses.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. You kind of end up on...
Where the park is, where the kids park is now and all that. That used to be what they used to call years ago. When I was growing up, I said the poor houses because it was for elderly and, you know, and set back.
Mm.
You know, people that were not well.
Mm.
And on the front there was two houses. One, in those days, they separated the men's house from the women's house. So that made it the poor house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it had the big yard in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And that used to be, you know, operated by a family that later moved out to the other end of town.
Mm-hmm.
And they moved to that area that's called Bayshore Manor.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they moved all those folks from. And then they eventually tore down those two houses.
Okay.
But that still continues to be Poorhouse Lane. And at one point, it was you know, this continued as Poorhouse Lane until they decided to connect it from the end of Petronia Lane.
But yeah.
You have a little walk way.
Okay, so it was linked to Petronia Street at one point, that way.
On Elizabeth.
Yeah, on Elizabeth.
Yeah. You know.
Hmm. Okay, good.
Where are you from?
I live here, so I just do, like, you know, the little Backstreet bike rides, the hidden places of the island a couple of times a week, and.
No, there's a lot of those in Key West.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, and years run by, a lot of the. In fact, some of them have been closed down now. They've just become part of
the property. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, but because I know a place right not too far from here, that there were very poor people that lived back in the lane, in the back part of the lane, and when I was growing up, and you're gonna probably say, really, but those people paid like $3 or $7 a week.
Okay, so I will put it all together
Now
for you in
you
the
pay
morning.
$1,000 for a day.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I know. We're down in Bahama Village. We have a small place there, so yeah, it's we have a lot of old places as well. So you grew up in this house?
Actually, yes. I was born in that one and grew up in this.
In that one? Oh, that's cool. What does the sign say?
And I'm related to. Well, that's because the woman that was there, she's passed away. She was a notary, and that's what the sign is saying.
Oh, okay.
You know, that she would notarize things because she was a notary. But because so much has changed, you know, from the days when I grew up. Many of my friends lived in the 600 block.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even the first house on that corner of Elizabeth faces this way,
Yeah.
The next one faces this way, which was the Johnson house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it used to be Mary Johnson and her husband Malden Johnson and their kids. I mean, in little things just to make you a little bit feel like you know a little bit of the. There used to be quite a few daughters, and there was a young brother, which was a kid too, but he was a little younger. Later on, he went into the military, and they got a lot of change. But he, when they were young, was the days of some of the most loved of any singer's music was Sinatra.
Mm-hmm.
And the girls were, in their teens, and they were overwhelmed with Frank Sinatra. But the brother was younger, and he would scream at his mother, "Mama, make them turn it off.
Make turn off Frank.
I can't stand Frankenstein." Sinatra." And next door to that was a house with a man and a woman. He was part of there was two big markets just as you come up on Roosevelt Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
And they and he and his brother owned one of those bakehouses. And then in those days, because there was a house next to that, and that house isn't even there anymore.
It's not there anymore, yeah.
And across the street on that side, the house that's got like an entrance to the front where people pull their cars up, that used to be a lot on one side, just a vacant lot,
Mm-hmm.
and a house over. And the people that had that house when I was growing up was one of because there was many houses in Key West that did that, because we didn't have television sets.
Mm-hmm.
So people would show movies on a sheet, like a bed sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, if they had
Sorry?
even Master Philip,
Mm-hmm.
they used to have all that. And what would happen is, as night was falling, you'd see most of us kids and some of the others walking down the street with chairs in their heads.
They're going to see the...
To go see the movies. And
Yeah.
have something to sit on, or if you went over there, rather than sitting on the floor,
Yeah.
on the ground,
Oh, that's really cool.
So it was a totally different thing.
Yeah.
That's just like, even, like doing events to the neighborhood, like that house over there. That was just one of them. A lot of the homes in those days used to make, different types of treats and homemade sweets and all these things.
Hello.
Hi.
We kind of share with the neighborhood and all that. And over there, as kids, they used to have one of those, like the Marshall Washington French made ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
And all the kids at this school would go over there and we'd help you crank it. And then another kid would take over and help.
Did you use any of the local fruit, like the mame or the...
Sometimes some of the ones were made with the local fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it was not,
Mm.
But what would happen is, like the woman that lived there, the adult that lived there would check it periodically. It's not ready yet. We got to crank it some more. So everybody would take their turn, and then she'd go, "Oh, it's ready now." So she'd pull the cap back down, and everybody would run home and get a glass and get a scoop of that ice cream, and then they would be shared all over with all the kids.
Mm.
So I mean, it was a whole different world.
Yeah.
Even though people see it today and they see it as a total in a different world.
Mm. Yeah, I love the old pictures. There are a couple of websites where you can see like the black and white pictures, from really back at the time. And there was a group in Bahama Village who was kind of trying to see who's still around. And
The guy that lived there, the guy that lived here was also blind. He was blind, and he was Alfred Evans. That's one of the churches right there on Simonton Street. He was the preacher. And I would, at that time, it was then, and at night, and since he couldn't see, he knew all the keys night because he didn't have to turn on the light to see.
Hmm.
He would just
He
hit the keyboard, and and that's how he would write the articles for the newspapers, the religious articles.
Hmm.
And things like this. So
Yeah.
when you look around you, I know you say you live here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you've been here obviously a short period of time.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that versus what I see when I look around.
Oh, yeah,
I
of course. I mean,
all the times going past. When you could go, like this Square Deal Market was right there on Simonton and Olivia.
hmm.
And we would go over there and get like a gallon of the kerosene
Hmm.
to be able to put in our lamp, or to put on
Hmm.
so that, I would have
Hmm. Hmm.
Like for instance, just across the street from this house over here. In fact, one of the granddaughters was here in town, and the guy across the street started asking about that. And the guy that runs that over there, he told her, well, you have to talk to the guy across the street. And so she came over here to me and started talking, and started telling her about her grandmother.
Yeah.
And she said, oh my God, you knew my grandmother.
Your grandmother.
And I gave her enough information that she knew that I did. And then she had a daughter here and a granddaughter. And the granddaughter, there's a stairway that goes up to the floor up top.
On the side, yeah.
And the grandmother would be in a room to one side, but she would have that granddaughter who was just like a teenage girl or maybe a little, a little bit older. She'd have her, because she used to play the grandmother used to play the piano beautifully,
Mm-hmm.
because in those days that was very popular for there to be a piano, because pianos was one of the companies that sold pianos used to say, when they sold it, their advertisement was, you'd like or you'd want to have
Hmm.
so that your daughter can grow to be a lady, that type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And she taught the granddaughter how to play the piano, but she also used to say to her, okay, now, you see this stairway, count 7 steps up, and the girl would, now come back down, now let me put these 2 books or 3 books on your head, and now you climb those 7 steps and come back down. And now I'll put, instead of 3, I'm going to put a couple more. So
You have to keep the balance, yeah.
Higher. And then you can come down, and then we're going to out your staircase.
Does she still live there? The lady whose grandmother grew up? No?
No, the old grandmother died,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one was all,
Yeah, it's all,
In
yeah.
fact, she's still doing the piano thing because a few years back, because in those days, television hadn't come out around here or anything like that.
Hmm.
But a few years back, just a few years, I saw her on television because she's with a group that plays, piano.
Hmm.
And they actually showed her. She had long, dark, beautiful hair that went almost to the middle of her back. And her grandmother used to say, "Okay, now we've got to stroke this hair. We've got to count it because it's got to be 100 strokes on it.
100.
And 100 on that side, and then down the middle." And I mean, it was. But it's things that.
Yeah,
But
that's sweet.
there were negative things too. Like in that house up there, there used to be an elderly woman that lived there and had a daughter who had, I guess what she had was polio, and she used to stand at the veranda of the house and watch people when they went by, and she would wave and smile. But she couldn't walk because she had, all those. Braces.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she couldn't really walk from there. She would be helped into the house and out with what little walkers.
That's over there, yeah.
And the girl And the father wasn't here because he had told the mother, you know, it's to leave you and leave the little girl, but I'm doing it for your sake and for her sake. He says like a little truck, you know, with an open back is going to come behind. I'm going to hop on the back of it, and I'm going to go, and they're going to drive me back in time with Jesus and others. So you're going to drop me off. He's going to drop me off at one of those or she whatever. He just the women didn't commercial drive very much. He's going to drop me off in that wooded area, and so it's good life. But that's because I have leprosy and I don't want to. I don't want this. So just tell her that I love her, and you know I love you. And things like that. Which is
Yeah, you have the whole story. You should write a book of the the stories of the neighborhood. I mean, this is amazing. What's your name?
Joe.
Joe. I'm Kim.
Kim.
Very nice to meet you. I see you a lot when I ride by. I
know,
see
a
you
lot of
sitting
people
on the
do, and
porch.
I always have people stop there, but at the same time, I mean, there's all these people. Like for instance, a couple of nights ago, I don't know if you've got the movies.
Sometimes, yeah.
Just a couple of nights ago. I don't want to tie up all your time now.
Yeah, I've got to run because I've got to catch the sunset actually. So
Okay.
I got to go to the Truman Waterfront.
But they showed the Rose Tattoo over at the cinema there by
On Eaton Street.
on Eaton Street. You know, they showed about 2 days, maybe 3 days ago. They showed the movie.
No, I'm on the way. Got to move my bike.
And yeah, you can probably look this up on your phone and you see what what it would look like, but it was
There you go.
the mother and the daughter in the Rose Tattoo. Did you ever see that movie?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, they showed it there just recently.
Yeah.
You know, as one of those things. But when they were filming that movie with the mother, you know, and the young daughter and Burt Lancaster and all that, you know, and when they were showing that, I wanted to see people like Burt Lancaster and other people like this. And there was near the park, which was closest to where the Rose House is on Duncan, but down at the park. There were some of these people sitting down like Burt Lancaster and some of these other actors, and there were people holding the kids on their shoulder. Well, I was just a kid, so I couldn't see over the adults with the kids, their little kids on their shoulder. So I climbed a tree, and when I climbed the tree, I hear, "Shh, don't tell anybody I'm out here," and that's how I met Marisa Kavan, who later became a well-known actress.
She was in the tree too.
But she was up the tree, and she was playing the daughter of the main character in the movie. But someday we'll talk at more length because the sun is going to set.
Yeah, I will definitely be back. So nice to finally meet you. So Joe, right?
Yeah.
Joe. Okay.
And I'll talk to you about people like Tennessee Williams and Philip Burton, Richard Burton's father, Elizabeth Taylor used to always say. And
I would love to. Thank you so much.
and your name was again?
Kim. Kim.
Like Kim
Yes.
River.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye. Oh guys, I love the old stories of the neighborhoods here on the island. So of course now we have to go to the corner of Elizabeth Street that he mentioned early on in the conversation, talking about the old houses and where the kids would come with chairs, bring their own chairs and sit down and watch movies. So we're back here on the corner of Elizabeth Street. You recognize, we rode by here early on in the stream. So this is where the Little Pearl is now, the restaurant we talked about earlier. And this here is Elizabeth Street, so we're going to continue on this. So these are the houses he talked about. So this probably is what used to be the empty lot, and these are the old houses that he talked about, where the kids came for the movies and where people were making ice creams and candy. Hope you enjoyed the the story of old Key West as much as I did. I see Joe sitting on his porch from time to time when I ride down that particular part of Olivia Street. So that is so sweet. So he lives on the corner of Olivia Street and Petronia Lane, and Petronia Lane did end into, or was linked to, Petronia Street. As you know, we have several streets in Key West that are no longer through streets because construction changes. The cemetery kind of blocks off certain streets. So this here is Petronia Street. We're going to ride down Petronia Street on our way over to the Truman Waterfront for the sunset. So this no longer connects, but there is a little lane that you can probably not see. It's just right here after that tree. We actually rode it down, I think last sunset bike ride or the sunset bike ride before that. Now it's just a little footpath that connects Poorhouse Lane and Petronia Lane to where we are now, which is Petronia Street. So Petronia Street kind of runs all across the island and is the one that where you have the famous rainbow crosswalks. It's also the entrance, the main entrance to Bahama Village. So this is where we are headed now. Little Petronia Street. We just have to cross Symington Street and then Duval Street. I sometimes really wish, you could just spend 24 or 48 hours and really turn back time, and I would love to try the locally made ice creams and candies and explore the history of some areas and some corners of the island a little more. So yes, this area where we met Joe, one of the old parts of Key West, and Bahama Village being another part, which is where we are headed now. That's where you have still a lot of the old conch houses and the old residents living there, telling you stories of when they were kids on the island. Ooh, did I see a kitty cross the road? Yep. Oh, he's looking at me. No, we're not stopping. We're not petting the kitty. Otherwise, we're gonna miss the sunset. So here we are. This is the crossroad, the famous rainbow crossroads here on Petronia Street and Duval Street. And this is the entrance to Bahama Village. Another one of the old residential areas of the island. And I think we will turn right here on Whitehead Street, head over one block, and then at the Green Parrot turn onto Southern Street, and from there into the Truman Annex, so we can go and catch the sunset at the Truman Waterfront. So we're turning here on Whitehead. Going down actually 2 blocks here on Whitehead, and then we're going to turn left onto Southern and into the Truman Annex. So here we are to our right. First of all, the Green Parrot liquor store, which by the way has been open the whole time during the pandemic. We have the Green Parrot bar, and we are actually going to turn left here. Okay. We have the courthouse over here, chicken hot spot. And we are continuing this last little block on Southern Street till we get into the Truman Annex. So guys, in case this is your first time with us, first of all, we are a local live streaming channel based here in Key West, Florida. And we do live streams pretty much almost every day of the week. And it's a mix of music in the bar, live music, and hidden Backstreet bike rides like today to explore the lesser known areas of the island, and of course the famous Mallory Square sunset celebration. And so today on our Backstreet bike ride, given that we have the trike, we normally go and hang out at the Truman Waterfront for the sunset, because it's a large open air space where you can go and hang out with your bike. There is enough room for everybody. A lot of the locals hang out there for sunset, especially now in high season when Mallory Square is crazy busy on certain nights. So here at the Truman Waterfront Park, you can actually still fish, and some people bring their chairs and drinks or picnic there. We have the farmers market on Thursday until after sunset. So this is a nice spot to hang out if you want to experience the Key West sunset in a slightly quieter setting. Or if you're here several nights, of course, you could do Mallory Square and the Truman Waterfront here. So we have this big park here. We have the Ingham, our Coast Guard ship here. Ooh, beautiful. Ooh, I smell freshly mown grass. So we don't really have any clouds tonight, so we should see the sunset on the water. So this is the submarine harbor here actually. This is where the Ingham is anchored, the Coast Guard ship. You can actually visit it during the day. On Friday and Saturday nights they do have a bar on the after deck. It's only open from 1 hour before the sunset until just after the sunset, if you want to enjoy the sunset with a little drink. So this is the submarine harbor. The access is over there. And right now we do have this other ship here in the way, so we will move more towards the other end of the Truman Waterfront. So official sunset time tonight is 7:40, so we have 5 minutes to go until touchdown. Guys, if you're wondering, he's back too. We see him every Tuesday, and every Tuesday he's laying right in the middle of the Truman Waterfront Park area here. Probably enjoying the warmth of the concrete. Sorry guys, if I have been missing out on the chat, I just see that Richard is asking the poll question, Marker Hotel or Island City Hotel? Now, I don't know the Marker Hotel, but I have stayed at the Island City Hotel, although that was a long time ago, and I love their tropical gardens, so I think my vote would go to the Island City Hotel because it's pretty much combining all the Key West attributes. But again, I do not know the Marker Hotel, so it's kind of unfair for me to to recommend one over the other, but I do like the Island City Hotel. Thank you so much, Deb, for the super chat. So we are here pretty much at the end of the Truman Waterfront. So there doesn't connect over here to the walkway over to the Margaritaville Resort Pier and onwards to Mallory Square. At least not at this point. And let's see if we can get a little bit closer to the sunset here.
This one's on the hill.
That's an adorable doggy.
Thank you.
So cheers, guys. Here's to another beautiful sunset on the island. Both Scott is asking if I just opened a beer. And no, I did not, because it is Tuesday, which means that it's Taco Tuesday, which means that it's Tequila and Margarita Tuesdays. So I don't like to mix it with beer. So this was just some regular water. Trying to stay hydrated after the margaritas. Thank you so much, Danny Boy, for the super chat. And thank you, Hunka Hunka. So this is where the Truman Waterfront Park ends. So we're not going any further than this. So this area over here on the other side is much easier to reach from downtown Key West if you're on foot. To come all the way here to the Truman Waterfront, you probably, it's a bit of a walk. It's doable, but you better have a bike. It makes it easier. But yes, if you want to get away from the crowds, it does require a little effort, or bike, or golf cart. Oh, guys, the horizon is still glowing. That is one of the smaller sunset cruises. Let me just turn around. Coming back to shore here, so they do leave in front of the what used to be the Margaritaville Resort. Kind of close to where the ferry to Sunset Key leaves from. So if you're looking for less crowded sunset cruises, you can look these guys up. I'm not sure what their names are. There are several. So they leave from here. And here we have Fury coming in. I think it is Fury, or is it Sebago? Yes, it's Fury. So these are the sunset cruises that leave from the Key West harbor. But they are more like the party cruises. So if you're more into watching the sunset in a quieter environment, you might want to look up some of the sail sunset cruises here. Richard, I see your comment. Richard is waiting for the sunrise bike ride. It's not going to happen on this channel, Richard. No way. Thank you, Tropical Critter, for the super chat. Hallo Dieter aus Nordheim. And welcome everybody else. The sun has just set here in Key West. Did a little Backstreet bike ride and met one of our island natives who actually lives in the house next to the house where he grew up. How amazing is that? So he told us lots of stories about what was happening in the houses around him where he lives, and one block up and one block down, and it was really nice to hear that. I hope you guys could actually hear what he was saying. I was trying to get the mic, to hold the mic in a way where you might be able to hear most of what he was saying, but then we had a couple of noisy cars and golf carts going by. And so the sun has set, and all these guys here, all the boats are headed back to the marina. Back to dry land for the night. Looks like there's some kind of training going on. So again, this is what used to be the submarine harbor here in Key West. And it's no longer used by submarines because it's not deep enough for the new generations of submarines, but they do have maneuvers here and trainings. This guy owns the place. I see Mark is asking about any apartments for rent. Well, you can look up places like Airbnb that would normally rent out for the night, because not every place has a specific, you actually need a specific license to rent out by the night. So even the apartments or small houses, cottages, whatever, would be rented out by the month, even if you go via Airbnb. So I would recommend checking out Airbnb or VRBO. That's kind of where you have the longer term vacation rentals. And you can try a couple of the local agencies. But yes, many places actually do have a minimum rental period of 1 month when you look at people renting out places privately. There are even houseboats, by the way, if you want to stay on a boat. Again, most of the privately rented out places would be by the month, so you might find better deals on there than on some of the local agencies. I see Mike would like a schedule, a rundown of our channel schedule for the upcoming week. So tomorrow, Wednesday, we will be headed to the bar. So if you guys want to join us at Captain Tony's Saloon, Florida's oldest bar, and by the way, the original Sloppy Joe's, we will be streaming starting 6:30 tomorrow evening. So that will be our next stream. Then we are off on Thursdays, but we will be back on Friday for the Mallory Square Sunset Celebration, starting at the same time as this stream tonight, so around 6:45, the sunset being around 7:40 now. Maybe we'll start a little bit later, around 7. But either way, so Friday is going to be our Mallory Square Sunset Celebration here in Old Town Key West. Back at the bar on Saturday, Captain Tony's Saloon, but a little earlier, starting 2:30 in the afternoon. So all these times are Key West time, Island time, also known as Eastern Standard Time. And on Sunday we will be back on our porch and have you guys with us for a little acoustic session in Bahama Village, some live music where we can chat a little bit more than we can in the bar at the bar. Because of course at Captain Tony's we have all the other people around as well making song requests. So again, for all the music live streams, you can make your own song requests if there's anything you want to hear from beautiful Key West. And back at Captain Tony's on Monday at 6:30 p.m. And next Tuesday is going to be another Backstreet bike ride like tonight, where we explore the hidden places of our island. And the best way to catch the streams is to subscribe to the channel and make sure you get the notifications. Just hit that little bell icon so that you get notified whenever we are live. Sometimes we have a little impromptu additional stream on Thursdays, so we might take you to our farmers market here at the Truman Waterfront or something. We'll see. It's just that one day where we kind of don't want to play. Ah, hello! Hey!
Hey! Nice sunset, huh?
Yes!
How's everybody doing tonight?
Good, they chatty.
Chatty.
Yes. We got kind of stuck with Joe on Olivia Street on the corner of Petronia Lane and which is Petronia Lane and not Petronia's Lane as it says on Google. And he told us why. It's because it was connected to Petronia Street, and then he told us the history of the he grew up in the house next door, and it was pretty cool. I'm just not sure everybody could actually hear it. I was trying to hold out the mic, but I'm not sure.
The military out there doing some exercises?
Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't sure what they were doing. Oh, there are more.
Some boats out there in the darkness.
I hear them. The termites are going to swarm any minute now.
Beautiful.
Yes, it is. Is it time for us to head home? It is time to head
I
home.
suppose.
Well, guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. So again, we will be back tomorrow at 6:30. 6:30.
That sounds about right.
That sounds about right. 6:30 tomorrow from Captain Tony's Saloon. Enjoy your Tuesday night. Have a great evening, everybody, and we'll see you then.
Good night,
Okay?
everybody.
Good night. See you guys.